lot of that 12 trillion gallons of surface runoff ends up in lakes, rivers, and streams that become sources of our drinking water. In fact, the state says nearly half of us consume water from surface sources like Sebago Lake or Lake Auburn.
Of course, stopping the water from entering those rivers and streams is out of the question. But is there a way to let the water through but leave the pollutants behind? The answer is yes. And as meteorologist Jason Nappy shows us in our ongoing series on Maine's changing climate, the answer to the problem is quite natural.
The climate change fight never stops in Maine, especially when it comes to the Pine Tree State's waterways that are being polluted by increased storm runoff.
There's a lot of development in this area, which then increases impervious surface area through pavement, which enhances polluted runoff into our waterways.
Alex Brown is a conservation technician with York County Soil and Water. She says buffer planting and fortification along the riverbank is needed to reduce impacts from pollution. But that's not all it does.
Another portion of this project is helping manage the nutrient levels that are running off from agriculture.
Levels that are running high the last few years, according to the Maine Department of Environmental Protection. Levels so high that the river has been formally classified as impaired for bacteria by Maine's DEP. This is where Gristmill Pond and the Kennebunk River meet. Brown is leading the Kennebunk River Watershed Restoration Project. The goal is to protect water quality by enhancing a vegetative buffer here at Cape Arundel Golf Club. Ryan Emmerich is the golf course superintendent at Cape Arundel Golf Club. He says there was more than 40 inches of rain over the summer, and that led to some erosion.
Lately, with the vegetation, we've seen some erosion going on, and we're trying to put forth a good program going forward and trying to wrap some of these banks with rock.
Brown says more storms means more storm runoff. Heavy rain or snowmelt carries pollutants, but it's the root systems in the buffer that absorb and slow down water flow. Brown says this allows the pollutants to go into the ground, not the waterway.
We're having higher frequency storms, higher intensity storms. It's really important then to enhance your vegetated buffer.
But the climate change fight isn't just about action, it's about education too.
This area here, it does serve a purpose for a vegetated buffer, but it's also serving an educational purpose too for golfers that come here and the volunteers that have come out today to help educate the public how they can manage their waterfront properties.
For phase 1 of the restoration project, everything planted was native to Maine. There is hope for a phase 2 coming soon. In the meantime, Emmerich's best advice for property owners is to make sure you have enough buffer zone at waterways. The higher you can let it grow, the better. Meteorologist Jason Nappy, News Center, Maine.
And by the way, York County Soil and Water offers free assessment visits for those who'd like advice on how to manage erosion or runoff on their own properties.